I've started working on a nylon string guitar, not strictly a classical guitar because the sound hole isn't in the center, so I just call it a nylon string guitar. Anyway, I've already located the sound hole where I wanted it to be and put several layers of purfling around it. And now I'm going to start bracing the soundboard. This particular guitar is going to be lattice braced. You can see the lines I've drawn out where the braces are going to go. There are lots of discussions online about the pros and cons of lattice bracing and sound differences and so forth. And I'm not going to get into that. I'll just suffice it to say that I'm using lattice braces on this guitar because two things. By locating the sound hole up here, I can shift the lower face brace quite a bit forward. Normally on a center sound hole guitar, the lower brace would sit probably about here, and once this big heavy brace, it's heavier than this, once this is glued in place, it kind of limits the vibration of the soundboard to this area. So by putting the hole way up here, this lower face brace can be shifted, at least 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches forward. So you have a much bigger vibrating area, which is a good thing, except that it also means with a bigger area, it's potentially weaker. So you need a strong bracing system to make sure that the top doesn't collapse. And pretty much everybody agrees that lattice braces are stronger than traditional fan braces. So whenever I build a guitar with the offset sound hole like this, I've been using lattice braces. So I've prepared my red spruce to make the 10 braces. These right now are 3 millimeters wide and 7 millimeters tall. And what I have to do before I can glue them on is cut notches everywhere braces intersect. So there's a brace there, and then there are braces coming across like this. And at each one of these points of intersection, I have to cut a little notch. The notch goes to half of the depth of each of the braces. So this takes quite a while. And that's what I'm going to start doing is marking, laying out the braces, marking them, and notching them. So I have to tape these all in place in order to mark them. Otherwise they're very delicate and they fall down when I don't want them to. So what I find is if I tape the first 5 down, the cross braces one at a time I can mark, and then I'll go back and notch everything out all at once. So I mark where the braces intersect one another. So now I'll do the next brace. So there are the first 5 braces notched out. Now I will notch the other 5 braces, obviously from the other direction. These 5 that I've already done, I've notched from the top down, and the other 5 I have to notch from the bottom so that the pairs intersect. Okay, so now this brace should fit into these 4 like that. And I see a little bit of a gap when I push down, so I have to make the notches just a little bit deeper. No big deal. In this case, it's easier to file them to that depth than it is to cut and chisel. So now when I push down, this one's still a little bit tall. You can see what a nuisance this is, chasing these braces around. They want to fall over all the time. There. Okay, now those are fine. So I'll move on to the next brace. So I finally got all 10 of the braces notched out. Kind of fun to play with. Stuff moves around. But I've marked the important brace locations so that when I'm ready to glue this up, I can get those exactly where I want them. The key brace is the one that goes right in the center of the bridge. I want to keep that one right on the center line. All the others, if they move around a little bit, it's really not that critical.